All right, let's pull back the curtain. Today, we're diving into the secret life of data. We're going to follow the journey it takes before it ever becomes one of those clean, clear charts you see in a report. And trust me, it's a messy but fascinating trip.
I mean, you've seen them, right? These polished dashboards where everything makes perfect sense. But have you ever really stopped and wondered where that all comes from? How does a complete tangled mess of information get turned into a story that actually means something? Well, that's exactly the puzzle we're going to piece together today.
The magic behind this whole thing is a process called data transformation. It's really the unsung hero of the entire data world. It's all that behind-the-scenes work that turns raw, meaningless noise into something structured and full of insight. You know, without it, data's pretty much useless. But with it, it's like a superpower.
And here's probably the best way to think about it. It's like a chef's mise en place. You know, that prep work they do before the real cooking starts? All the chopping, measuring, organizing, getting all your ingredients just right? That is exactly what data transformation is. We're just preparing our digital ingredients for the main course. So every data story has a beginning. And let's be honest, it's usually just chaos. We are not starting with perfect spreadsheets. Nope. We're starting in what feels like a digital attic, filled with files that have these super cryptic names that give you absolutely no clue what's inside.
I mean, just look at this. This is where we begin. Dim employee, fact reseller sales. What does that even mean? It's like a totally different language. If you saw this, would you have any idea where to start? This isn't data you can work with. It's a puzzle box, and we don't have the key. At least not yet. So how do we tackle this mess? Well, you don't try to do it all at once. You just take a breath, pick one piece of the puzzle, in our case, that weird dim employee file, and you start to forge a foundation. One clean, simple step at a time. And here's our game plan. It's all about being methodical. First things first, we give dim employee a name that a human can actually understand, Salesperson. Then we get laser focused. We filter out anyone who isn't actually a salesperson. We just get rid of the clutter, any column we don't need, gone. Then we do something smart. We merge first name and last name together. And finally, we just rename everything so it's perfectly clear.
And just like that, look at the difference. On the left, you've got that clunky, confusing mess. On the right, so much better. Clean, simple, easy to understand. We took two columns and made one, logical salesperson column. And that ridiculously long employee national ID alternate key, now it's just employee ID. I mean, the clarity is night and day. So what was the result of all that effort? We're left with just 18 rows. 18. Think about that for a second. We started with data for a whole bunch of employees, and we've boiled it right down to be only 18 people who actually matter for this analysis. We've cut through all that noise to find the signal, and that is the power of transformation. Okay, so we've got one perfect, clean little table. That's great. But right now, it's kind of on an island by itself. To really unlock its potential, we need to start building bridges, connecting it to other data islands. And that's when things get really interesting and our data starts to tell a much richer story. The main tool we use for this is called a merge, and it's pretty much as simple as it sounds. If two totally separate tables happen to have one piece of info in common, like a product ID or something, we can use that as a hook to just pull them together into one big super table. So for instance, our product table, it just had the name of the product. That's not super helpful on its own. But by merging it with another table, we were able to bring in some crucial context, like category and subcategory. So now, we don't just know we sold a bike, we know we sold a mountain bike from our bikes category. That is a huge leap forward in understanding. And here's what's so powerful. These data sources don't even have to live in the same place. We can grab product info from a massive corporate database and merge it with some color preferences from a simple text file that's just sitting on someone's desktop. And the result? A single unified table that has all the info all in one place. Okay, so we've cleaned and we've connected. But now we're going to get into the real magic. This is where we go from being a data janitor to a data alchemist, using some seriously cool techniques to completely reshape our data and unlock its hidden secrets. So check out this sales data. It looks pretty standard, right? Like a spreadsheet. You've got the months going across the top as columns. Now, this wide format, it makes sense to our eyes, but for a computer that's trying to analyze a trend over time, it's a total nightmare. To really analyze this properly, we need to kind of flip it on its side.
And the secret weapon for this is a technique with a kind of strange name. It's called Unpivot. It might sound weird, but trust me, it's one of the most powerful moves in the entire data transformation playbook. And boom, here's the aftershot. You Unpivot literally took all those month columns and stacked them on top of each other vertically. So now we have a tall table where each row represents a single month's target for a single employee. This structure is what computers absolutely love, and it's what lets us easily track performance over time. Here's another cool trick. Our sales data, well, it had some holes in it, some missing cost values. So we did a little data repair. We created a brand new cost column using a simple rule. If the cost is missing, hey, just calculate it for me. If it's already there, great, use that. And just like that, we've plugged the gaps and made our data whole again. So after all of that cleaning and connecting and reshaping, we finally reached our destination. We've turned that digital junkyard into a clean, logical, and interconnected model. It's not just data anymore, it's a solid foundation for understanding, and it's finally ready for the spotlight. Just look at this. Do you remember that list of gibberish we started with? Dim employee, factory seller sales? Gone. Now we have salesperson, product, sales, targets. You don't need to be a data wizard to figure out what's in these tables. This is what clarity looks like. This is the payoff for all that hard work. And we've managed to distill everything down to just 7 perfectly structured tables. And these aren't just any old tables. They're the solid foundation that every chart, every insight, and every single decision is going to be built on. Out of total chaos, we've created a masterpiece of organization. So let's just recap the journey. The data is now clean, the connections have all been made, and most importantly, the information is reliable. Our chef's mise en place is complete. All the ingredients are prepped and they're ready to go. And that right there brings us to the most exciting moment of all. All that hard and visible work is done. The data is prepped, the kitchen is clean, and so now the real question is, what incredible stories are we about to cook up?
Power BI Lab will use data cleansing and transformation technique to start shaping our data model. So we'll then apply the queries to load each as a table to the semantic model. So I will share this GitHub link so that you can follow when you do into your own setup or lab environment. So let me start the lab. So open a browser window, then paste the URL, press enter. So select that starter sales analysis. So when you see the next window, you can get like data you can see on your right side. But from here under queries section, select the transform data, select the transform data options. So now you can see the queries section, select deep employee table, deep employee query. And you can see that there is a name options like under properties on your right query settings. Let's replace this name with salesperson and press enter. And you can see that name has been updated in the queries pane. So now to locate a specific column, in the home ribbon bar. From here you can see that inside the manage column section, then you can see the choose column option. So see the options here and select go to column options. It's a feature with many columns, otherwise you can horizontally scroll to find columns. So go to columns. Now here you can see the different columns name. You can also sort them like A to J. So you can sort that one also. So also you can see the two options there, natural order or name. Select that name options. Then select for salesperson filling. So here, then click. Let me see, is there any other option that I can select? Okay, click OK. So you can see that salesperson flag has been options like based on this we can see that false and true options are available. If you select that, you can see the options like filtering options. So if I select for only true, so just select true and then click OK. Now you can see that there are many columns. To remove columns, let's go back to under home ribbon, choose column section again, and you can see that choose columns, select that option, and then you can see all the column list. So first you can unselect all of them, then select the columns that we would like to see the data for. So like here, employees key, then employees national ID, alternate key, first name, last name, title, email address, and then click OK. Now you can see only those 6 columns here. Now to create a okay, on the applied list, you can see that always when you are doing something, it just adding another query steps. So last one we did filtered row, then this one. So you can see it just added filter step as when you are doing something. So to create a single name column, let's select first name and last name, these two columns, then right click and then you will see that there is the option merge columns. So select that merge column options and then you can see that there is a separated drop down list. So select that space option and then column name. Here we just replace that as a salesperson. Then click on OK. Now here you can see that employee national ID alternate key. We are going to rename this column. So double click that one. Then you can see the option. So we are going to give this name as employee ID. And press enter. So you can see that is merge columns, rename columns. So whatever task or steps we are doing, it's just adding here. Then you can see that the email address. Let's rename this one. So double click and give a name is UPN. is the acronym for user principal name. Let's me uppercase. Press enter. But when we are doing the similar things like rename columns, it just yep, is considering as a one steps. So now in our next task, we are going to do for oh, when you're doing that one thing, just make sure that you can see that it starts always on your left side. You can see that options available here. So you can see that this query has 5 columns and 18 rows. So next we are going to configure the salesperson region query. So in this task, you see that under query section, select the Dim employee sales territory query. And here you can the query settings that we are going to change the name. Going to put salesperson region. And we'd like to remove those 2 columns. So for that, go to choose columns, then here deselect. So we want only employee key and sales territory key. This is so you can deselect only, select first 2 and then click on OK. So there is a other way actually in this option is showing that other way that we can do. So if you go to choose columns, let's example select that options back, and if I go to dim employee column header, select this column, select this column, and then here you can see that remove columns options. So select that and it just removed columns. So you can also remove this way also. And if you check on status bar, you can see that query has 2 columns and 39 rows. Next, we are going to see that configure the product query. So that for let's select the dim product query and rename this just product. And then search for finished goods flag here, and then go for filter options and retrieve the product which has got only true value. Click OK. So now we're going to remove all columns except 5 columns. So click on that choose columns, then deselect everything, but we are going to select product key, then English product name, standard cost, color, then we are going to select dim product subcategory. So okay, so we have selected product key, English product name, standard cost, color, dim product subcategory. And if you see here, you can see that this is number, numeric, this is character, this is dollar value, and here you can see it contains a table, related table link. So it contains actually values. And here you can see that expand button. So select that expand button, and when you select that one, you can see the full list of columns. So if I select that one, it unselect all of them, click on OK. Now let me select few columns here. So we're going to select English product subcategory name, then dim product category. So we have selected two columns, and then deselect that use original column name as prefix. Deselect that option, then click on OK. So here you can see that the transformation is resulted in addition of two columns. So dim product subcategory and English product subcategory name. So it has got all the values, but dim product category, you can see that column has been actually removed because there is no information, just showing that it's a values in value. So now expand this option, so you can expand that options, and here we are going to select only deselect first, and we are going to select English product category name, only that options, click OK. Now we are going to rename column. So first English product name, we're going to put that product, standard cost, we're going to just separate standard cost, space, we just give any space, then we are going to English product subcategory name, giving subcategory, and English product category name, we are just giving category. And if you see here on status bar, you can see that query has 6 columns and 397 rows. Next, we are going to do that configure the reseller query. So for that, select the dim reseller and rename that query to reseller. Then choose columns. We're going to select 4 columns only this time. So reseller key, business type, reseller name, and then DimGeography. Click on OK. So we took 4 columns. Now here you can see that DimGeography, expand that one, deselect all of them, select city, state, province, name, English, country, region name. So city, state, province name, English, country, region name. Then click on OK. Now on the business type column header, select the drop arrow, and here we're going to for the specific one. So we can see that there are warehouse and oil house. We can see that both values are there. We're not changing right now. We're not doing anything. So click OK. And then go to if we select here, now let's see the options. Right click, then select here, replace values. Select that one. Values to find that we know that that is a wire space house, and correct one is we know that warehouse. So and then click OK. So now if we go there and see, can not see that wire is space house is not there. So select OK. Now select that business type, renaming that column header. Then reseller name, enter state, province name. We are going to give state, province. So we are going to rename this to country, region. And if you check the status bar, you will see that 6 columns and 701 rows. Next, we are going to configure the region query. So for that, select the dim sales territory query and rename this one to region. And we check that sales territory alternate key. Let's do a filter. So here you can see that there is a value 0. So we don't want that one. So remove that one. And then click OK. So ultimately this will remove few rows. We can see before that there was 11. Select that OK. Now you can see that one rows has been removed. Then go to choose columns. We're selecting a specific column. So first deselect everything. Select that sales territory key, sales territory region, sales territory country, sales territory group. So this 4, click OK. When that is done, now we are going to rename column. So sales territory region, we are going to rename this to region, sales territory country. We are going to give this name as country, and this group we are going to give that as just group. If you check the status bar, you will see that 4 columns and 10 rows. So next will go through the sales query. So for that, select that factory seller sales query and rename that to sales. Now remove few columns for our display settings. So first deselect, then select sales order number, order date, product key, reseller key, employee key, sales territory key, order quantity, unit price, total product cost, sales amount, dim product. So sales order number, order date, product key, reseller key, employees key, sales territory key, order quantity, unit price, total product cost, sales amount, dim product. Then click OK. Now I go. So expand that the column. You can see that expand option. Then deselect all of them. Only include standard cost column and then click OK. Now we are going to add columns. So for that, on the top level, you can see that add column. Select that option. Then inside there, into the general group, select that custom column. Then you can see that there is an option to new column name. So give a new column name. We are going to give this column name as cost. And here you can see that custom column formula. So let me add the formula here. So this expression is telling if the total product cost value is missing, if missing, it produces a value by multiplying the order quantity with the standard cost. Otherwise, it uses the existing total product cost. So now here you can see the available columns list. So here, remove that total product cost. This is the formula. After setting this one, we're going to remove those columns from other side. So select that OK. So now let's go back to view options. Go to columns, homes, choose columns, choose columns. So from here, we don't want total product cost and standard cost, and then click on OK. I'm going to rename order quantity to quantity, that unit price, it be space in between, and sales amount to as a sales. Now we can do, if we in case like time to time, that to modify the column data type. If a data type is like same data types for every values, then we can do that one. So in the quantity header, you can see that it's 1.2 icon. So and then select that option. You can see that there is a different options available. For this one, we want a whole number, so we can just select whole number. Similar way, let's modify this like unit price. This is the number, select that one. We're going to set that fixed decimal number. For sales, fixed decimal number. Cost, fixed decimal number. And in the status bar, you can see that this time it's showing that stats wise it's a 10 columns, 999 plus rows. So a maximum of 1000 rows will be loaded as preview data for each query. Now configure the targets query. So for that, select that reseller sales target query and rename that to targets. Not sure why I'm getting this is the lab environment. Sometimes we may get some kind of message we can ignore, but it's showing that okay, which level to apply these settings. Try to connect. For now, let me ignore that one. Let me continue. So select that edit credential, and here different option is coming. So that anonymous and connect. That's good. So it resolved our issues. So to unpivot the 12 months columns, let's select that year and employee ID columns header. Then right click. Here you can see that unpivot other columns. So select that options and if you look here, you can see that unpivot other columns options is coming here, and it's coming here. You can see that attribute column, and their values like it's coming attribute column, and the values appears in the value column. Now in values, go for filter options, and here you can see that hyphen values there. So remove that hyphen and then click on OK. So now we are going to rename two columns, which is that attribute. We're going to do that month number and value to target. Now to replace to prepare this month number column value, right click, and then here you can see that options is replace value. So select that replace value. and you can see that find option. So here in find, place that M, if that is M, and see the M0708. So M is there. So with replacing M with empty, and then click OK. So now you can see month like 078, all this month value, you can see that one. Now this month number column, we're going to setting that to whole number. Select that whole. So you can see that now it's coming nice formatting. Not 0708, so 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's getting a nice value. Now let's go to add column section. Inside the general group, you can see that column from example. Select that options for all columns, or you can select that one. And if you check here, you can see that very fast rows. It's showing that um, year is 2017 and month number is 7. And column 1, the first grid, um, comments interins. Like if you go here, value was not specified. Let's add the value. Let's enter. So when we add that value, ultimately it just getting um, other cells. If you look here with the predicted values. So what it does, so it just actually predicted that we are combining the values from the year and month number. And also you can see that add column from examples. You can see the transform options message here for this formula it used. Now here you can see the merged columns. So double click, we are going to rename this one. Target month. Press enter. Click OK. And now let's go back, remove couple of columns here and month number, because you already got through target month. So select that OK. Now to multiply the target values by 1000, what the options that we are going to select from here, you can see that the transform options. Select that ribbon tab and then go to that number column section. Select that standard and then you see the options, different options available: add, multiply, subtract. Select that multiply, and when you see the multiply window in the value box, you just pass the value 1000 and then select OK. And in the status bar you can also see that it's showing 3 columns and 809 rows. So now next we'll see or configure the color formats query. So select that color formats query And you can see the very first column or first rows actually. You can see uh, contains the color, background color format, font color format. So kind of column names, because you can see that down below. So column 1, column 2, column 3. Ultimately down below is rows 1. We can see the columns names. So for that, go back to Home ribbon tab. Here you will get that transform group, output data transform group, and because these are actually headers, so select that use first row as header options, and you can see it's modified that one now as a header. And down below starts what you can see that the query has 3 columns and 10 rows. So 3 columns and 10 rows. Next we'll update the product query. So for that, let's select this product query, and here you can see the different columns: category, subcategory, color, standard cost, product, and product key. So on the get the home ribbon bar, we are going to merge the color formats query, and it's the different options available. Go to that combine group section and select that merge queries. Now when you see these options like this window, merge query window, and if you select here product, select the color, column header, and down here let me select that color formats. So here we select the color, then we give the color formats. Then we can see the join kind. Select color coded one. Then you can see that there is a privacy levels window open. So for localhost, select that organizational. Also see the web URL, raw GitHub user consent.com. Select that organizational, and then select save button. Then you can see that merge window. There is a different join option. So join kind is coming left outer join, and then click on OK. So now you can see that expand option for color format. So click that one. So deselect that one. We are going to take background color format and font color format. Then click on OK. And after that, you will see that in the status bar, that query now has 8 columns, and row wise there is 397 rows. Now we'll update the color formats query. So when we are still that let's go back to color format query. And you can see that here you can see that all properties sections. So select that all properties link, and then it's coming window, and here you can see that the options like enable load to report, include report in refreshers. Deselect that one, enable load to report checkbox, then click on OK. So you can see here like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 queries currently they are present. So here you can select that close and apply to load the data into a model, and close the Power Query editor window. So click that close and apply button, and you can see mm, that canvas in Power BI desktop with filters visualization. You can see the visualization options. It's loading here. So mm, we have 45 minutes task. Okay, so we have successfully completed this lab. So if you have any questions, please put that into comment sections. Otherwise, I will see you into next lab.